One day you realized that the parts of yourself that you were blind to were the very parts that other people were using to manipulate you. For a long time, you would have experienced great confusion. You would have felt within yourself, within your body, that those people that said that they loved and cared about you were doing something, were acting towards you in ways that were hurting you. You would have suffered mentally, you would have had disturbing dreams, your health would have declined, you would have had to withdraw from the hobbies and things that you love because you found that you didn't have energy to do the things that you loved. You may have not been able to work, and yet you couldn't quite put your finger on what was happening. You knew that you were not being treated in a way that was respectful and loving of you. And yet, when you would speak to the people around you, they would deny everything. And you would try and understand the particular nature of what was happening. But it always seemed to come back on you, as if you were the one who was creating problems. You were the one who was too sensitive. You were the one who wasn't giving enough and loving enough and allowing the other person just to get on with their life and be and do what they wanted to do. And within yourself, you knew that you weren't bad. You knew that you weren't trying to do the things that you were being accused of. You were carrying your weight and more. And yet, you were also going without. Your life was going downhill. You were feeling sicker by the day, sadder by the day, more depressed, more miserable, feeling more isolated and uncertain. While the other person, their life would have been going up. The things that would have been meant for you, your happiness, your peace, your opportunities, somehow you were not well enough to do them, to engage with them, and yet the other person was. The other person had the friend group that used to be yours. The other person had the opportunities that used to be yours. The other person was out and about living a good and productive and interesting life, which you used to. And now they looked at you with disdain. Why are you no fun anymore? And you hardly knew what to think or say. All you knew is that you were sapped of all of your energy, all of your strength. And you were watching the days go by and your life go down the drain. And so you turned inwards as best you could to try and understand, to try and map out this process. What had happened? What was happening? And why was your very life force leaving you with every passing day? And then, after some time, you would have realized that there were things in you from your life that you had not seen, you had not understood. Maybe you realized that you always felt like you needed to give more so that others would care about you. Maybe you felt like you had a responsibility to explain yourself. Whatever it was, you realized that the other person had a sophisticated way of using your vulnerabilities against you. And then, because they were working in those areas that you did not have clarity on yourself, they were able to move quietly and silently. And you were just being pulled along, not knowing, confused, and all the while losing everything that made your life worth living. Eventually, you realized this. Eventually, you saw the depth and the sophistication of the scheme. Eventually, you understood the cruelty of it. And then, the pain of that realization was like nothing. you felt before. But once you truly understood, you also saw yourself. And once you saw yourself, you still had more to give. But this time you gave it to yourself. It was love, it was compassion, it was acceptance, and it was a new start. A new start during which this would not occur to you again, because now you knew, now you're aware, now you saw what before you couldn't see.